Lionel Messi's children have committed a great betrayal against their father, the ultimate offense. When Messi discovered what had happened, he was devastated. He chose to keep it private, not wanting to reveal the truth to anyone. However, the burden of the secret weighed heavily on him, and he eventually mustered the courage to confess. The revelation stunned the world. You see, Messi's greatest aspiration wasn't to win the Champions League or the World Cup. His true desire was to become the best father he could be, knowing full well that this would be no easy task. To achieve this goal, he devised a plan. The initial hurdle on Messi's journey was going to be the toughest. As a child, he witnessed the love between his parents and yearned for the same affection in his own life. He subsequently found a partner next door, hoping to fulfill his dream. However, little did he know that adversity was looming. Despite thinking that he had met the perfect girl, Antonella Roccuzzo, disaster struck at an inappropriate moment. Messi was away, preparing for a game in Barcelona, when he received a phone call informing him that Antonella and her best friend had been involved in a driving accident. Tragically, her best friend passed away immediately. Antonella was overcome with grief when she received the devastating news. Messi, upon hearing of the accident, immediately traveled to Argentina to be with her. However, he recognized that he couldn't leave her behind in such a fragile state. He knew that if she stayed, she would be consumed with thoughts of the tragedy and would struggle to recover. Consequently, when he was ready to return to Barcelona, he made a life-altering decision. He proposed to Antonella, asking her to leave everything behind and come with him to Spain to start a new life together. Leo's request was a monumental one, requiring Antonella to leave her entire life behind and embark on a journey to an entirely new country. Antonella trusted that Messi would be her protector and caretaker, so she agreed to his proposal, marking the successful completion of Phase 1 of his plan. However, this was merely the beginning, as Phase 2 would alter his life significantly and thrust him into the spotlight. Despite being a global icon, Messi preferred a simple and quiet life. However, once news broke of Antonella living with him, the media frenzy ensued, propelling him to the forefront of the news cycle. Before long, he was making headlines across the globe. Despite Leo and Antonella's desire to maintain a low profile and keep their personal lives away from the media, they were constantly being monitored, with every move under scrutiny. Despite their best efforts, Messi's every action was being watched and analyzed. On one fateful day, when Messi executed a secret signal, the press managed to decipher its meaning, and Messi's cover was blown. He went on to score a goal in Argentina's 4-0 victory over Bolivia, which, while not out of the ordinary given Messi's scoring prowess, only served to further increase the media's interest in his personal life. During that specific match, after Messi scored and celebrated, his fans were quick to realize what was happening, and they erupted in excitement. The moment they had been waiting for had finally arrived, which was that Messi was going to be a father. With all eyes on him, Messi knew that he had to raise his game and step up his performance. On and off the pitch, Messi was determined not to let his unborn child down, dedicating himself to becoming the best father he could be. When his son Thiago was born on November 2nd of 2012 and he heard his first cry, Messi knew that Phase 3 of his plan was now fully underway. With Thiago by his side, he transformed into a different man, recognizing that it was no longer just him and Antonella, but now a family unit. Leo was filled with pride during that moment, and he decided to commemorate the special occasion by getting a tattoo that would serve as a permanent reminder of Thiago's birth. As time went on, Leo grew to love family time, although Thiago probably got tired of having to explain who Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was. 3 years after Thiago was born, on September 11, 2015, the Messi family welcomed their fourth child, Mateo, and Leo himself had a fantastic year, even winning his record-breaking 5th Ballon d'Or. In 2018, while most footballers were gearing up for the World Cup, Leo wasn't done having kids. He was preparing for something else entirely, and in March, he completed the third phase of his plan. Having a third child was a special moment for Leo, and he even got their names tattooed on his body along with his other children. With his dream family finally complete, he dedicated to being there for them every step of the way. However, when his kids misbehave and disobey him, Leo can turn into a frightening figure that they can hardly bear to look at. Leo knows the value of hard work and staying humble, and he instills these values in his children. He reflects back on his childhood, which was tough because his family didn't have much money, and Leo only had one talent: soccer. Leo was completely dedicated to the sport, and soon his parents realized that they couldn't separate him from the ball. So they had no other choice but to get Leo signed up, and it quickly became apparent that this kid was the future when Leo joined Newell's Old Boys. But as his career was on the rise, terrible news came that not only his football dream, but his whole life was about to come crashing down. The doctors ran tests on Leo, and that's when they realized that he had growth hormone deficiency, which is a condition that gives him trouble growing. At just 4 years old, it was evident that he was smaller than his peers. All hope seemed lost until the doctors gave them a glimmer of hope. There was a cure for growth hormone deficiency, but the cost of the injections required for treatment that was between 1,000 and 5,000 euros per dose. Leo's family was struggling to make ends meet, and they didn't have that kind of money. When other clubs interested in Leo found out about his condition, they distanced themselves from him. Leo owes a successful career to Barcelona, and his kids understand that as well. They know that their dad's life was saved when Barca took on the cost of his growth hormone syndrome treatment. So whenever they can kick a ball around, there's only one place Leo takes them to, even though Thiago is older. It's Mateo, who plays like his dad, and the coaches at La Mesa have already recognized his potential. Everything was going great until 2021, when the Messi family became homeless due to a financial issue with Barcelona in 2021. They couldn't afford to pay Leo's wages, which left them in a tough spot. However, PSG quickly swooped in and signed Leo as a free agent. But Leo wasn't just thinking about himself. He was worried about how to break the news to his family: Antonella, Thiago, Mateo, and Ciro. They had to move to a new country, and Leo knew that it would be a tough transition for his kids, especially Thiago, who was already settled in Barcelona. Barcelona was the only home the Messi family had ever known. Leo was left with no other choice when the club couldn't afford to pay his wages due to a financial mix-up in 2021. He became a free agent, and after a couple of days, PSG came along and struck a deal with him. However, Leo was worried about breaking the news to his family, especially to his kids. In an interview with the French media, he revealed that Thiago was more reserved and took the news in quietly. Mateo, on the other hand, cried a lot, and Ciro, being very young at the time, didn't understand much of what was going on. It must have been really painful for them, but they're settling in now, and Leo spends most of his time with them. Antonella's social media is filled with clips of Leo playing with his boys and even his dog. He values the quality time that he spends with his kids, and as a result, they confide in him about a lot of things. One day, Leo found out about a secret his kids had been keeping from him, and he couldn't hold it in any longer. After keeping it hidden for a few months, it was eating him up inside, so he finally let it all out. When he revealed that his kids' favorite idol was none other than Mateo himself, it became a huge sensation. Leo's children are all unique in their own ways, but with Mateo, things get even more interesting. Mateo is known for playing pranks on his dad and teasing him about his past football losses. However, one day, Leo came home from training and asked his kids who their favorite football player was, expecting him to say him. But to his surprise, Mateo revealed that his favorite player was not his dad, but rather Cristiano Ronaldo. Leo was stunned by his son's answer, and it quickly became a viral story in the football world. Wow, that's quite a shocking revelation. It seems like Leo's kids have a mischievous side to them, especially Mateo, who enjoys teasing his dad by pretending to be his football rival Cristiano Ronaldo. Despite this, Leo loves his kids unconditionally, and they continue to support him in his career whether he wins or loses. When Messi finally won the World Cup, his kids were there to celebrate with him. This is exactly the kind of heartwarming stuff that football fans love to see. It's interesting to think what would have happened if Leo's kids' favorite footballer Ronaldo had won the World Cup instead of him. It's hard to say for sure, but it's likely they would have still supported their dad and celebrated his achievements even if Ronaldo was their idol. Family love and support is important, and it's clear that Leo's kids have that in abundance. Thanks a lot for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye for now.